Hey guys, so in today's video, I wanted to talk about how I feel like my prior healthcare experience has helped me adjust to my new role in the sleep center. So when I say prior healthcare experience, for those of you who have been on my channel for a while or following me for a while, you know that I have been a CNA since 2016. Shortly after that, a few years, 2019, I became a nationally certified phlebotomy technician. And in 2021, I became a CCMA, which is a certified clinical medical assistant through the NHA. And most recently, in October of 2023, I started working in the sleep center at the hospital that I have been working at for almost a year now, switching from the community clinic setting to working in the sleep center. So I just recently, as of today, this is my first night shift in the sleep center, but I have been working in the day shift or on the day shift in the sleep center for 2 months now. So I have noticed quite a few things that have helped me in that transition. So since I've worked in healthcare since 2016, there's a lot of different tactics that I've picked up, a lot of different tips and tricks that I have learned, a lot of things that I can use to my advantage, switching from whatever setting I work in to whatever setting I choose to switch to. But working in the sleep center is a whole different ballgame. Like, there is a lot that is the same, regardless of what setting you work in healthcare, but there's also a whole lot that's different and a lot that switches regardless of what setting you're in. So with sleep, it is a beast. I'm not gonna lie. There is a lot of information that you have to learn. There's a lot of things that you have to do differently. And because the sleep center that I work in is an AASM, which is American Association of Sleep Medicine, I think is what it stands for. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. AASM is kind of like the overseeing body. We are an AASM accredited sleep center. We have different rules that we have to follow just to keep that accreditation current. So there are things that we have to do in certain ways. There's a certain way that we have to do things in order to keep that accreditation is what I'm trying to say. So just kind of learning those things and learning how often you have to follow up with patients, there's time limits on things, and in order for them to be able to keep their devices, their machines, they have to come in and do follow-up. It's not just all on us, but as people who are overseeing the care of these people, we are involved in trying to make sure that they get in for their compliance visits to keep their devices and things like that. So there's a whole lot more to sleep, working in the sleep center, than just running a sleep study. And that's what I've been doing on day shift. And so one big thing that I can say, the biggest helpful thing is that I have prior experience with Epic, because the sleep center that I work at, we use Epic, and obviously working in the clinic, we used Epic down there as well. So while it's a little bit different because I switched from an ambulatory care setting to an ancillary procedure-based type setting, which is more radiology and testing and things like that, compared to ambulatory clinic type things. It looks different, the layout's different, there's different settings that I have access to now that I didn't down there. And so it has been an adjustment trying to get used to it, but I think just having any prior experience with Epic has been definitely so very helpful, because it's less of an adjustment, it's less of a learning curve. Because for those of you who have not used Epic, Epic can be difficult to learn. There are so many different ways to do things, and there are so many, you can do one thing in 6 different ways on Epic, and each of those 6 different ways can be just as confusing as the other. So I feel it's definitely helped me switching roles. It's helped me to have that prior experience with Epic. I feel it's also helped me to have prior patient care experience, because working in sleep medicine can be a little bit intimidating, I'm not gonna lie, just because there is so much information and there is time restraints and deadlines and you know, things that have to be done in a certain time period. And it can be a little bit intimidating, but having that prior patient care experience definitely helps, not only just from interacting with patients and knowing like how to talk to your patients, but also like realizing that, hey, there's things that I need to prioritize. Like I have a lot of prioritization skills from working in the clinic, from working as a CNA, all of the above. Like I've learned how to prioritize tasks and how to figure out how to prioritize my tasks. So I know how to look at, okay, well, if I'm working on night shift, I have to set up this patient, then I have to set up this patient, then I need to do this, then I need to do that. Like there's a whole list of things depending on which shift you're working on as a sleep tech. Like each shift has different responsibilities, but there's a list of things that need to get done regardless. And so knowing how to prioritize is definitely very helpful. Knowing how to interact with patients, because whether you're on night shift or day shift, you're going to interact with patients in a sleep center. On day shift, it's a little bit different. And I do plan on making a video to talk to you guys more about the differences between working on the day shift as a sleep tech and working on the night shift as a sleep tech. Because even once I'm certified and or registered, I am still going to be doing both. Moving forward, we plan on doing a rotation so that between the two of us, there's not just one of us that is responsible for either one of those shifts. So we don't want someone to get burnt out. And so we're going to do a rotation. So like a week or 2 weeks on day shift, a week or 2 weeks on night shift. And I think that that is going to work out best for us. So that is the plan moving forward. But I feel like it definitely helps to also have like a baseline knowledge of different healthcare related things, as far as like medical terminology. I feel like I would be way overwhelmed if I had absolutely no prior experience in healthcare, which the current position that I'm in didn't really need. They preferred it, but you didn't really need it. And I just decided to apply for it because I was already working at the hospital in the clinic, didn't feel like I was getting paid enough, and wanted a different challenge, felt like it somehow related to my neuroscience degree, and decided to go for it. So, I mean, I can talk more about that in another video too, if you guys are interested in kind of why I chose to even pursue sleep medicine or switch to the sleep center. But yeah, I can definitely share more information about that. If you guys have any questions, I would be more than happy to create a Q&A video sharing some of what I'm going through, because it is a lot and it has had its overwhelming moments for sure. But yeah, I definitely feel like there are probably more ways that having prior healthcare experience has helped me that I just don't realize right now. But those are the main ones, you know, having that prior experience with Epic, having prior experience with patient care and interacting with patients, knowing how to prioritize, having that baseline knowledge of like medical terminology and different medical procedures and different diseases and things like that has definitely helped, because a lot of sleep tech responsibilities also has to do with pulmonary responsibilities. And my boss kind of said it in a way that makes sense to me. And he kind of said that like sleep techs are almost like mini respiratory therapists in a way. A lot of what we do has to do with breathing. And so, you know, I don't want to get kind of off track here, but it makes sense why you would say that. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know if you are a sleep tech or a sleep tech trainee or somebody who's interested in sleep medicine, or maybe you just wanted to hear what I had to say. Anyways, have you ever thought about working in sleep medicine? I honestly never really even thought about it until I had seen it a few times, this position pop up. And then finally I'm like, well, let me read about it and see what this is all about. And then, like I said, I got thinking and I'm like, this might be interesting, and I decided to apply for it, and that's the end of the story because now it's my career. But anyway, I can share more information. Just let me know, and I will talk to you guys next time.